I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I couldn't stop doing it. The condemnation was actually what kept me silent, because I felt like I can't tell anyone, it's so shameful, and I just kept it to myself. And I felt also very sexually confused. By the time I was 5 years old, I'd already been molested by a girl. When I was about 14, that's when I discovered porn. He's sexy and I need to sleep with him.
But you can't fix what you can't see. It's the soul that needs a surgery.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you know, I am in the series of sex and sexuality for my new soul surgery series, and I thought who better than OGHOSA to talk about the most taboo topic ever. But OGHOSA has a video that has basically went viral about her pornography addiction. It's like three years old. So I kind of just wanted to do like an updated version of it, just to kind of make it relevant to now, you know, because a lot has changed in 3 years. You know, with the introduction of like social media, Instagram, etc.
So
like there's so much more. It's not even just like porn, that ones that you watch on your computer or your phone. It's even on Instagram, it's on Snapchat, you know. I've come across the most crazy, I've come across the most, I've come across the most crazy Instagrams, like, and I'm just like, and people are actually getting paid to be porn stars, basically. But we're gonna get into that a little bit later.
Honestly, it's like, oh, thank God for salvation, man. Anyway,
trust.
Continue.
So we're just gonna ask OGHOSA to share her story, a little bit of her story, just so you can kind of get an overview of her and her story.
I'll like condense it.
Yeah.
Okay, so with most addictions, it's not really the addiction that is the be all and end all. There's usually something underneath the addiction. And for me, it was being molested. And when I was 5 years old, I was molested by someone looking after me. That lasted about 5-6 years.
That's a long time.
I didn't actually realise I was 5 when it started.
Really?
Until like I think when I was 21, I was talking to my dad, and he was like, you were literally 5 years old at that time. And it's like, at that age, you don't even know your own surname. You don't know how to spell your own surname, let alone understand sexual abuse. Like it's... Anyway.
Do you remember the first time that it happened?
No, actually. No, and I do see a counsellor at the moment, but one of the things I'm learning about psychology is that a lot of the time painful things your mind will block out. But I do remember definitely about 3 or 4 occasions, but the rest of them have just
blurred.
So that happened to me when I was 5 until I was about 11 years old. But unfortunately, by that time I was 11, I had a sort of Stockholm syndrome where I thought that the person abusing me was like my friend, and they had built up those trusts, that bond, and that trust and that friendship. And obviously, you know, that's one of the ways that people groom children.
Grooming,
This actually didn't happen to me by an adult. It was also by a child that was a bit older than me.
Oh wow.
So I think
a child or a teenager?
She was a child.
It was a girl? Oh wow.
And I feel like that's why, as painful as it is to talk about, I feel like that's why my story is really important, because I feel like there's this stereotype that to be an abuser you have to be a man or a white man, a creepy white man in a van. But it's not.
Or an uncle, which is actually some people's story.
But I've after I did the video, I got so many emails by like girls telling me they had been abused by other girls.
Wow.
Like young girls, young guys, young boys rather.
It'd be normal for you to be kind of close to a woman or a girl without actually thinking anything.
Even now, it's still like something I have to like deal with. Like if someone gets too close to me, like I kind of like freak out. And I've heard that similar thing from rape victims as well. Like when men or even their boyfriends, when they touch them, they just Anyway, so that happened until I was 11. And when I moved, me and my family moved house. It meant that we were away from the girl and her family. Still at this point nobody knew what was going on. But I had those, I felt like sex was a part of my life. I felt like sexuality was a part of my life. And so I kept on looking for something that would give me the same. It's really messed up how it happens, but I kept on looking for something that would give me that, because I thought it was normal. And at that point I thought I needed it, and I wish I spoke to someone, because I think that's when like the addiction started. So I kept on looking for just sexual material, basically.
Do you feel like he was looking for something emotional or physical? Do you feel like he was missing?
It was both. It was both. It's really crazy, because as a child you shouldn't have to be even thinking about that. But I feel like that sexual door was opened far too early. And it had been abused, and so there were dark issues with it, and it wasn't controlled. But I think if I saw like a therapist or psychologist, it would have been a lot easier to come down from those feelings.
Right.
So anyway, I discovered porn when I was about 13. First time I discovered it, I just thought it was really, really shocking, and I didn't actually look at it again until I was about 14. But during this time, from being about 11 to 14, I was like still looking for sexual material, so magazines.
So from 11, from when the abuse stopped to 13,
yeah, 13, 14,
what was happening in that? Was you still trying to process?
Well, I didn't realise I'd been abused.
Oh, you still didn't?
No.
Okay.
I didn't actually realise I'd been abused until I was about 18.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just thought there was something wrong with me. I just thought that I was just really, really messed up.
Why?
Because I knew it wasn't normal, because I knew my other friends weren't really like that, and from what they've told me at that age, I just knew what I was dealing with was quite unique.
Okay, right. How did you discover porn?
I think I just heard guys talking about it in class.
14.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh girl. Some of these 13-year-olds are sending each other like nude pictures on Snapchat. Because I work quite closely with Bernardo's. In fact, they're one of the people who informed me about how high the levels are of child-on-child sexual abuse and child-on-child molestation.
Wow.
Like, it's high. I think it's like 1 in 10 children have been abused. It's really common. It's really, really common. So yeah, so I discovered porn when I was 14, and then from then on, it was like a steady addiction. So it wasn't like I saw it once and I was just like, yeah, I've got to have this all the time. But I saw it once and it gave me a thrill. And obviously I was masturbating as well. So this is really candid, but you know.
Yeah, my last video, the one video before, was very candid. So we're just gonna run with it. Like we're just gonna flow with that. Like we're just keeping it real, because I think that there's a lot of freedom in being real, because there's sometimes we have these emotions and we have these experiences, but we hide them, and in hiding them we feel like we're strange, like not realizing like a lot of people are experiencing the same things, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the more we is the more in bondage that we entangle ourselves in, because we don't want to talk about it. Like the Bible says that you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So once light is shone on darkness, it can only become light.
The happy ending is coming. Yeah, so in terms of like bodily satisfaction and the mind and stuff, basically what would happen is a cycle. So I would remember like how I would feel with my abuse, and I would think, okay, that's friendship and that's something I need to feel. I need to feel that sexual release. And so I would go and search porn. I'd watch it, masturbate, whatever. And then I'd feel awful afterwards, and I'd feel dirty and disgusting. Obviously Satan as well is just there throwing his condemnation bombs at you.
Yeah, but at the time you wasn't Christian, so you wouldn't you wouldn't necessarily know that it's wrong.
Yeah, well, oh no, I knew. Another thing I need to add is my family, at that time we were going to a really strict Christian church. Okay. So I was very aware of what is and isn't acceptable. So I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I couldn't stop doing it.
Right.
And obviously I didn't fully realise it was because of sexual abuse and blah, blah, blah. So I felt awful, and I think that's one of the bad things about going to too much of a strict church. The condemnation was actually what kept me silent. Yeah. It's because I felt like I can't tell anyone, it's so shameful, and I just kept it to myself. And that's how you stay in sin. Yeah. So anyway, so that kept on going until I was about 18, 19, and then it got really, really bad when I got to uni. 14 to 18. Yeah. 18 is, and then 18 is when it got really bad. I broke up with my boyfriend, and I moved to a new city where my university was. And it was just like I knew, obviously, you know, when, oh gosh, this is really candid, but obviously when you orgasm, it gives you endorphins, and endorphins make you happy. Depending on who you're doing the deed with, it can either make you happy for a very short time or for a very long time, depending on what's going on.
Wait, you're talking about masturbation?
I'm talking about orgasms in general.
Oh, orgasms. Okay, wait, you're a virgin or
Oh yeah, but obviously when you masturbate, you...
Okay, right. Sorry guys, I said in my video, I have no idea about masturbation. Literally, I've never ever experienced it in my life. So it's like, I just
wow, this is turning out really candid. It's
like
I love the Christian version.
When you were saying, depending on who you're doing it with.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, this is so candid, but okay. So basically, if you're in a Christian marriage and you're having, or in a marriage, from what I've heard from married couples, when you're having sex with them, the happiness is not, doesn't last a short time, because you love the person you're with.
Right, okay.
However, if you're doing it with someone, just a casual fling, or if it's an orgasm, just lasts what, 15 minutes, and then the reality of whatever you're dealing with in your life can come back. Obviously there's exceptions to every rule, but that is the main thing.
Consensus,
so when I would do it, I'd feel great. It was a comfort fix, but then I'd feel crap afterwards. I'd feel condemned. I'd feel really dirty, and I'd remember. And I felt also very sexually confused because I never had that chance. It was taken away from me because like I was abused by a girl. I never had my own, oh, I like this guy. And that did come later, but I didn't have the chance because by the time I was 5 years old, I'd already been molested by a girl. So everything was very, very premature. So then, I was starting to watch porn much, much more when I was 18, 19, 20. And then when I was 20, I got saved. And that was really like anticlimactic, sorry. It was really bad, and you know, I was messed up anyway. I got back with my boyfriend and we didn't have sex. I'm still a virgin, thank God. Yes, you can be molested and still be a virgin. I get really stupid emails by people. You can be sexually abused and still be a virgin. Sexual abuse is a wide spectrum, so it can go from touching to sex without consent for the poor child. It's weird actually because around the time that I was about to get saved, my boyfriend was like really pressurizing me to have sex with him, and I kept on remembering my parents always drilling into me like, sex is for marriage with someone that you love. It's not for some any roadman. He wasn't a roadman, but anyway.
A lot of people that do get molested, they tend to become very promiscuous.
Yes, they do. It was very different for me.
It was different?
Yeah.
Okay, that's true as well, because some people go the opposite way, where they're frigid, that they just don't want to touch men, nothing.
I think that was me. I think also growing up, I saw a lot of my friends growing up quite attractive, and they got a lot of attention from guys, and I saw guys mess them up and take their virginities and cheat on them and stuff, and I just thought, you know what, I'd rather not. Yeah, so I had my first boyfriend when I was 18, and then we broke up, got to uni, and then the pornography addiction got a lot worse, and then we got back together, and then he was pressurizing me a lot, like it was heavy. Like if I didn't get saved, I honestly don't, I might have held on, I don't know, but so then I got saved when I was 20, and you know, with pornography addiction, 90% of the time it's probably a demonic thing. I'd say it's a spiritual thing. Don't get me wrong, you need counselling, you need all of these things, but without God breaking that chain, it's still going to be there. So with me, thank God, when I got saved, I had a preacher pray over me and really just break those chains in my life, because otherwise it will just crop up. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's easy, but I was really desperate to get rid of it anyway. And when I got saved, I was really happy because I was like, I need this weight to be lifted off my shoulders. And since then, God has been so, so good. Like, I do have a video on how I conquered pornography addiction by the grace of God. It's on my channel if you want to check out. So yeah, that's basically it in a huge nutshell.
Wow, okay.
And I've been saved for 5 years now. Woo!
Amazing. Some people say, what's wrong with watching pornography? Like, what is wrong with watching pornography? What's wrong with masturbating? Like, some people,
the fact that you're just watching two random people that you don't know have sex. But
just that, it's normal. It's normal, you know. That's what we do, isn't it? You just watch two people have sex, you know.
Like that question.
A lot of people are just like, what's wrong with it? Someone said they're unsubscribing from me because I'm being so negative about sex. It's not negativity, like it's not.
Or maybe the Holy Spirit is convicting your ass.
How can I say they're being negative when I'm trying to teach you guys how you can prevent certain things?
People don't want to know the truth, man.
That's the truth. Like, people don't want to know the truth.
Plus, if a sin feels good, they'll stay doing it. If especially sins that feel good, but like pleasure, people aren't gonna stop doing it.
And it's so hard because that's the deception with when it feels good. Like, I mean, I'm having sex with my boyfriend, like,
and he loves me.
I mean, what's wrong?
Now, I'm joking.
I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, we love each other, and I think that when you're thinking on that level of pleasure, what can I get from it? You're missing the whole entire point and the sacredness of sex between a covenant relationship, as in within marriage. I could probably get like married couples here and ask them about.
If you hear the way married couples talk about sex, you know that people are doing it wrong. You know, because I'm even getting shivers. The way they talk about it, it's not even about it being sexy. It's powerful.
Or pleasure,
that like they feel. Oh no, they feel like connected.
Connection.
and it makes them feel closer. And you know, the closer a married couple are, the harder it is for the devil to come between and calm down, preach.
And the better the sex is as well. You said it's demonic.
It's demonic. Yes.
Okay, on what grounds?
Yeah.
Because you know people will need to know the facts, right?
Yeah.
On what grounds is it demonic, in your experience?
In my experience, you know, just as someone who's been addicted to it for over 10 years, around that. Okay, with pornography, there's some people who just watch porn.
Casually.
I've been like talking about this for years, so I know that there's some people who just watch porn casually, and it's not a crutch. It's not a burden for them,
and it's not addiction.
And it's not an addiction. They just enjoy watching two random people have sex. That is not as, it's bad, but I'll talk about the reasons it's bad is because spiritually, right, there are doors to everything. So if I now go into a graveyard at night time and I'm sitting there and I start saying the word Beelzebub, I'm opening certain gates, because you're opening satanic, you're doing something that's opening a gate that is not godly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, if you open the gate to illness, you will get ill. So if you're opening the gate to pornography, the spirits that are to do with lust, to do with all of that.
It really is the spirit of lust, though, isn't it?
It's a spirit
I
of
think
lust.
most sexual addictions, the spirit behind it, which I spoke about in my other video, is the spirit of lust. It's the thing that entices you and it draws you to that particular thing, you know?
Yes, it's the spirit of lust. Like, I mean, I've learned that pornography is very complicated though, because what I've been learning about lust is that lust isn't just like he's hot. That's not lust.
No.
Lust is he's sexy and I need to sleep with him.
Yeah.
That's lust. And you can see why that's wrong, because it's actually quite pervy. Anyway, all of that, you're opening the doors to all of that. Now, when there's an addiction, there's something underneath the addiction. Whatever that is, whether it's molestation, whether it's sexual abuse, whether it's rape, there's something under the addiction that is the problem. So once you do that, it's even a bigger gate, because the thing has not been dealt with, the problem here, and then the addiction, the porn is now opening more gates as well. It's pushing you further away from God, and the more doors that you have open, it's just the more sin you're letting into your life, basically. But don't get it twisted, y'all. Don't think that, there can't be a demon for pornography. Said who? Do you know how many boys and girls are addicted to porn?
Yeah, it is a female, and it's becoming a lot more prevalent within women as well. I don't know if it always existed or
I think
it was
it's always been
taboo.
that way. It's been more taboo.
More taboo to talk about.
I hate it when people make it sound like only boys watch porn, because that makes it seem like only boys have sexual desire. Like we all do.
Yeah, it's true.
We're all human. We have a sexual desire. It's pushed and pushed and pushed down, and don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Be a virgin. Don't sleep with. Close your legs. Be a virgin. Whereas boys are. He's a bachelor, that's why he hasn't settled down. He likes to take girls to his bachelor pad. All of this stuff, it's encouraging pornography. It just does. It encourages pornography addiction. It encourages promiscuity amongst men. So I think that's one of the main issues of it. I know many women who have told me they watch porn.
So what do you think people are searching for when they are looking for porn? Because you talked about the crutch, it being a crutch. And I've heard people say that when I'm happy or when they're sad. But in my mind, because that hasn't been my crutch or my default, I don't correlate. Like, I would more think if I'm sad, I'm gonna go and eat food. Like, that's probably more, not for me.
Oh no, but
you know what I mean?
It's very similar.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah. So, but because it's such a sexual thing, it's like, how is that the same as eat?
It's easy. Okay, it's easy. You can find it anywhere. It's quick, and it gives you a bodily pleasure. Some people like to eat food, but gluttony is also a sin.
Yeah, of course.
It's the same thing. It really is. But it's just people choosing a different flavor. Unfortunately, porn is just a different flavor of something that someone could OD on. There's alcohol. There's weed. There's cocaine. Porn is just one thing.
So I guess triggers would be like loneliness, sadness, or horniness.
Do you know what? What I've learned from like talking about porn is the brain, like God is so amazing, and the brain is a complex thing, very, very complex. And for me, my triggers weren't loneliness or horniness. In fact, I never really felt any of that. For me, triggers are like seeing someone who's not wearing a lot of clothes. For me, that because porn is very visual.
Yeah.
That would just make me think of porn. And when it makes me think of porn, it'll make me think of being molested. And maybe I might.
They're all kind of intellect.
Oh, it's very connected for me. But everyone's different. So some people it might be loneliness. Some people it might be horny. In fact, I know some people who've written to me, and when they feel that sexual desire, especially when you've had sex before, that's also an issue.
Yeah.
When you've had sex before, it's even the desire is even more fearsome. So.
Yeah. Not everything is as simple as we make it. Right. Everything has layers, and I always say that this world that you see now. Even the Bible talks about it, like everything that you've seen is made up of something that is invisible. So there's a spiritual realm.
Preach it, girl.
There's a spiritual realm and there's a physical realm. The physical realm comes out of the spiritual realm. So when you look at something from face value, it actually came from something that's invisible, okay? So there's molecules and there's things, but there's also spirits that attach themselves to things.
People want to believe in star signs, but they don't want to believe in spiritual. It's okay. I think because we're so like used to this world, we're so used to seeing everything as it is. But behind that, there's other things going on, you know?
Mad spirits.
We just need to be aware. You know, as the Bible says, he that has ears to hear, let him hear. I know some people will watch this, they'll say we're crazy.
Yeah.
If you like. I think we're crazy. He that has ears.
Yeah, it's honestly like, not everyone's going to be able to receive what we're saying right now.
I love that.
But those who can and those who seek out truth, they will actually understand what we're saying. Like I was saying, like, don't become desensitized to these things.
There's this pastor called Ed Young, and he has this saying called drinking the Kool-Aid, and it basically means going out into the world and taking the world and taking the church and mixing it all and just drinking it down.
True.
And a lot of people, like especially people who watch things, some of you guys are watching ungodly television shows, like that is literally based on lust. Everything is based on lust, and people are making fun and posting memes, and this is what you're saying. It's like people have become desensitized to it.
Yeah, like I found myself in situations whereby I'm just like, yo, this is not even me. Like, what am I doing? And you feel it. Like when you're talking about drinking a Kool-Aid, you're drinking a contradiction, right? You're drinking a contradiction of, I know this is like wrong, but then it's now normal to me. So you're kind of mixing it together, a bit of the world, a bit of God, just mixing it together and drinking it down as truth, some kind of new form of truth. It's a lie. The devil's a liar, the devil's been lying, and the devil will continue to lie. So you really have to be able to look at things deeper than they are. And pornography, bless you guys who are struggling, but it's wrong.
One of the things that reminds me that it's wrong is the fact that you're actually watching someone's child have sex.
And this is what we're talking about, the desensitization of the body, female body, the male body. Like, we don't exist to just have sex, you know, we're more than that. And I think when you watch pornography, it kind of warps your mind of what you think about relationships, how you view women, how you treat women.
100%. There's a rise in rape now, and they've correlated it because in porn, obviously women don't really, there's a lot of porn that's very fetishy of oh, I'm just gonna have sex with you, and she doesn't actually say yes, he does it forcefully. And that's right. And it's warping young boys' minds, especially about how to treat women. So now, unfortunately, in schools there's a lot of sex abuse situations going on. There's a lot of rape situations because boys don't know what yes is, and they don't know what no is. Silence is not consent. But unfortunately, porn is really messing things up. So that's also one of the reasons I.
Finally, we're going to talk about how to overcome it. I know you talk about finding God, but obviously I'm aware that not everybody is a Christian or a believer. But what are some practical steps having been able to like just conquer, you know?
100%. Yeah, no, I've actually got a video on my channel about how literally like actual practical things, because I know, yes, things are spiritual, but there's also the practical as well. You can't pray and then have your laptop on and be looking at porn and say, well, I just went to church, so it's just there. Do you know what I mean? You have to take a step. So things that I did by God's grace were, okay, right, first was music. If you're struggling with pornography, you really shouldn't be listening to the likes of Trey Songz, you should not be listening to the likes of Nicki Minaj, Tory Lanez, you should not be listening to him. In fact, for me, God instructed me to cut out secular music completely for, I think it was about 3 or 4 months. I mean, nothing. nothing but gospel or Hillsong, those types of stuff. And that was really useful because for me, even now, if I hear bashment, it's difficult. I'm like, it's funny, but it's actually, for me, my mind actually starts.
It's so true.
Because it starts opening those doors and thinking, and it's very descriptive to some of those.
Yeah.
So yeah. So music, books, anything that is around you that's an influence. Books, movies, bruv. I didn't watch secular movies for about 4 months, you know.
Really?
All I watched was Bible story, but and it was hard. But God was really dealing with me, and do you know what? Now I get it. Like, and the thing is, people be like, "Oh, what do you mean, bruv?" I would sit down to watch Desperate Housewives. Desperate Housewives is basically harmless, and I would literally feel sick.
Wow.
And it was spiritual, and I was like, you know what? I need to stop
because you become sensitive to it.
Yeah.
You become sensitive to it, and like even myself, like for the past 2 3.
Not that there's anything wrong with Desperate Housewives, but God just wanted at that time. I just wasn't meant to be watching.
Yeah, you have to know yourself. Like even me, like in the last 2 weeks, I haven't listened to secular music at all. So when I'm in the car, radio comes on, I turn it off.
Yeah.
And like.
For me,
now
when I have to stop.
You have to, yeah. And this is my season of having to stop because I just like, you know, I just have to stop, right? Yeah. But now even when I listen to a song, my ears are open to what they're actually saying, whereby before I was desensitized to it. Like you guys follow me on Snapchat, I'll be your Snapchat every day. There's a song on there that is just wild thoughts or whatever, do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I was saying wow, this is funny to me, it's like banter, you know, but now I'm just like, yeah, but
have to keep those things.
Mate, it's true, like it's actually true.
It's very personal, so you have to let the Holy Spirit guide you through it, because for someone can listen to, okay, let me think of something harmless, and California by Tupac, yeah, some people can listen to that and Christian be fine. Some people can't.
Yeah.
It's very personal.
You have to know for yourself, but don't deceive yourself. If you know that the music that you're listening to is making you want to go in that certain direction, you need to just be honest. Like I'm so honest with myself. That's why I'm able to just say like I have to cut out secular music because I'm honest with myself. If you can just be honest with yourself, we're not telling you to do anything. Yeah, just be honest with yourself. Yeah. Just be mindful. You know, apart from secular music, movies. What about your laptop and things that you would watch it on? Blocking?
No, I didn't. Blocking.
But not for you, but like
I know, but the flesh wants what it wants. Do you know what I mean? So if you block it, but you want to watch porn tomorrow, you'll still
find a way.
Exactly. So praying, also having friends around you who are very like deep in the Word
and that know,
or going to a Bible-based church. Please see a therapist or a counselor as well, because there's an issue underneath and it needs to be resolved, and you need love as well. And
that's good, yeah.
That's most of the things I can remember right now.
Yeah, I think that's really important, talking to somebody about it, even if you're not that.
Yeah, and having a friend you can actually confide in about it. That helps.
Yeah, because you want to shed light. You know, the Bible says confess your sins one to another that you may be healed. Why are you healed? By confessing, because you're actually shining light on the things that you're hiding.
100%.
And the devil loves things that you do in secret. And for another thing that people say that, why is it so wrong? Why don't you go and sit on a bus or in public and watch porn?
And then people say, oh well, it's not right to watch sex. That's how you know it's not right.
That's how you know it's not right. Like, go sit in the library, have a big screen, go and watch porn on there and see how normal that is. That's not normal. Whatever you do in darkness, you do it in darkness because it's dark.
There's even a verse that says people who do things in the dark, they cover it up. But people who do things of God, they like everyone to see it and shine the light on it.
Yeah, so I think it's just...
verse that is,
yeah, we'll find it. We'll put it here. But I
love that verse.
Yeah. Well, I hope that video helped you guys, and even if you're not struggling with porn addiction or anything, I think it's information that you need to know. And if you're on Instagram or you're scrolling or whatever, if you're being like if you're feeling a kind of way from following somebody, or you're seeing a naked body and you're feeling some type of way, you actually need to just like cut it and like just get rid of it, you know, because anyone can be susceptible to it, you know. It doesn't matter if you're old, you're young, you're whatever, do you know what I mean? So just be wise, you know.
And I totally agree. I think, you know, I know for everyone it's not as easy to just quit, but definitely confide in someone.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share it with anybody that may need the video. I hope it's helpful for you. And also I filmed the video on OGHOSA channel, so make sure you guys go and check that out. And yeah, I'll see you in my next soul surgery video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.